A woman dies of malnutrition after following a fruitarian diet. Is a fruitarian diet too extreme and radical? Why she actually died living on fruits for almost 10 years. Stay there until the end to learn more about the case of this Polish girl that actually died of starvation, of malnutrition, while she was in Bali trying to live on fruit, and how you can avoid these pitfalls in a raw food diet. Why nutrition matters. Hi, I'm Dr. Eduardo Corassa, a clinical nutritionist from Brazil that has saved his own life through lifestyle medicine called natural hygiene. And also, I'm happy to announce that 4 of my 10 books published in Portuguese are now translated to English and available on ebook and print on demand. So the hygienic fasting, nature's surgery, the anti-cancer diets, the lifestyle that fights cancer, the Eden's diets, the guide to raw frugivorism, the original diets, and natural delicacies, cooking without a stove, are the perfect start for your new health journey, for a healthier, better, more longevity version of you. And unfortunately, because I teach lifestyle medicine, the podcast doesn't have any sponsors because there's no money in producing health. There's money in supplements, there's money in therapies, surgeries, treatments, but teaching lifestyle medicine, there is no company wanting to sponsor us. So I ask for your help for free. You can comment below, share the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notification. You help YouTube to deliver more our content to you and to other people. And I also provide consultations online and in private sessions. There is the Raw Food Detox Retreats here January and July in Rio de Janeiro. 4 blocks from a beautiful beach, a tennis court on the yard, 350 rare fruit trees, and the best education on lifestyle medicine in the world, in my humble, if I dare to say. And also 6 online courses, but they're still in Portuguese. So if you want to help the work grow, to help other people, and also help yourself, I highly suggest you to go in the description below for our website or for our WhatsApp. I will ask our editor to put here the recipes from the retreat. Besides the culinary, there's the practical application and also the scientific lectures. I hope you like the video. I was a sick child. When I was 22, I was suffering with diabetes, terrible back pain, intestinal issues, respiratory and allergic issues. I had so many diseases, so many symptoms, and I was feeling so ill. And for the last 20 years, I have experienced perfect health. I have not only reversed my diseases, but with 41, I'm way much healthier than I was with 22 and way more productive, and pretty sure I'm going to reach 100 or even 120 with health, because I understood that health is produced by healthful living. It's not just diet, but lifestyle. But one of the parts of the lifestyle, it is a raw food diet, in my humble opinion. After 20 years of studying, university courses, and teaching nutritional science and lifestyle medicine, I understood that yes, raw foods are better than cooked foods because they have more micronutrients and they have less toxins. And for sure, we end up eating a specific diet for human beings. Why? When it's raw, when you don't cook, when you don't season it, you end up eating a lot more fruits and vegetables because they're soft, tender, sweet, juicy, all the things that we look for in a food. But for sure, when you cook it, you can have salty, sugary, sweet, tender, soft, and still don't see the difference, right? So because the food got that way by chemistry and not by nature's chemistry, not by the plant chemistry, but the chemistry that we induce by cooking. Yes, I believe in a raw food diet, but I don't believe in a fruitarian diet. These people that believe that they can live off only on fruit, they are wrong. And for sure, there is no fruitarian animal in nature. There are frugivorous animals in nature. That means the anthropoid primates, The animals that share 99% or even 99.3% of our DNA lives on fruits and vegetables. That's why they have opposable thumbs, the capacity to see colors, the capacity to sense the sweet taste and the salty taste, because fruits and vegetables are sweet and vegetables salty. So we evolved for millions of years, like Genesis 1:29 in the Bible, you know, that God suggests that he gives all the fruits and vegetables for us to eat as we please. And for sure, we can eat any fruits and vegetables raw, but the starches, the animal protein, you usually need to cook. So we are a frugivore species, but as the scientific article suggests, we are non-specialized frugivorous animals. That means we can eat meat, we can eat seeds, but primarily we should be eating fruits and vegetables. We are adapted to these foods. But for sure, like cats, they can eat like a cat food. But in cat food, they have like carrots, they have like wheat, and they have like meat and preservatives. But that doesn't mean the cat has evolved or adapted to eating cat food. It just means that we can digest anything. But is it healthier? It is the best food for us. It is the food that provides the best fuel, the best longevity, the best nutrients. Sure, we know that human beings can live off bread and water for months, and we know that there's not many nutrients in there. So nutrition is way more complex and way more simple than most people realize. So that's one of the big mistakes Carolina Krizaki did. She thought of living on fruit would meet her nutritional needs, and that is not correct. You gotta understand that, for sure, fruit is the perfect food for human beings, but cannot be the only food. And for sure, for someone that have been living on a frugivore diet, on a raw food diet based primarily on fruit, maybe 80% of my diet's fruit or even more than that, but I eat vegetables, I eat nuts and seeds, I eat legumes like peas, lentils, I eat mushrooms, I can eat algae. And for sure, if you don't want to be vegan, you can even eat animal products, right? There's some animal products you can eat raw, there's some you can cook, but still, the minor portion of the diet, it doesn't matter as much as the bigger portion of the diet. But this minor portion, it still provides essential nutrients that maybe fruits and vegetables are low in it or even lacking in it, like vitamin B12. But our body is well equipped to store nutrients, like vitamin B12, for example. It can store for 10 years. I have gone 10 years without supplementing B12 and without eating animal products. Almost 12 years actually. And I'm still alive. But if you keep not eating these nutrients, your reserves will go low and it will end it. So you need to replenish it. So that's why you can live on fruit for a day or for a few days. That's not a big issue. I'm not suggesting it, but you're not going to die of starvation or malnutrition. But if you prolong that for like 10 years like she did, then you get into some serious trouble. So first of all, don't try to live on a fruitarian diet. No animals in nature are fruitarian. And there's no animals and for sure, bonobos, chimpanzees, gorillas, they can eat insects rarely, and chimpanzees can eat meat once in a month, but still, it's really little amounts, and we still don't know the details about, all the nutrients that they ingest and all the nutrients we need. But for sure, we can follow the data that suggests that blue zones, the most longest living societies on the planet, live primarily on plants, with 4% of their calories being animal protein. That means like a little bit of fish once in 4 days or something like that. And they are not just the longest lived human beings, but they're most healthy according to the literature. So that tells us a lot about diet, right? Because it's not just a girl trying an experiment of living on fruit, but it's actually people living that way for hundreds of years. So first of all, don't try to live on a fruitarian diet. If you're going to eat a raw food diet or a primarily raw food diet, eat your fruits as much as you care for, but for sure, include all the other foods. And for sure, if you want to maintain as a raw vegan, you have to worry about supplementing B12 and maybe even some other nutrients. It's not optional. In the long run, will be a must. Second of all, seek nutritional and medical help. She didn't seek any. If you're weighing 22 kilos, 50 pounds, and should be weighing at least 100, 150, something must be wrong. If you're that skinny, if you're, not maintaining muscle mass, you cannot exercise, you must understand that your diet is wrong. wrong. It's not detox, it's not cleansing or something like that. You must seek professional help if what you're doing is not working. Even if it's working, professionals, like for example, I have been studying this for 20 years. I have been living this for 20 years. And I have been helping patients for 10 years now. So I have a lot of clinical experience, scientific experience, and empirical experience to help people to understand nutrition and to apply for it in their daily lives so they can become more healthy. So second part is seek professional help if you look like you need it. And for sure, if you're not keeping your daily activities, your normal physical fitness, your mental clarity, your normal hunger, if you're having like any kind of symptoms, it's even more an indication to look for help. But for sure, she didn't look for help. She was trying to live on fruit for almost 10 years or something like that. And even then, she was like weighing 22 kilos, something like 50 pounds before she died. And that is not normal. But she knew she should look for help. The hotel she was in Bali said that they wanted to call a medical doctor, but she didn't want it. So for sure, there are bad nutritionists out there, there are bad medical doctors out there, but you can find good ones that understand lifestyle medicine and nutrition. If you want, I attend patients online in private sessions, but for sure, you can even read my books like The Eden's Diet. I don't suggest, to live on fruit. I suggest a really balanced diet in terms of raw food. What the media is suggesting is that she around 13 years old or 15 years old, she was already posting on her Instagram that she was crying because she was fat or something like that. She had already posts about body image distortion. She was already back then already probably living with anorexia. And that's why she died. She didn't die because she was following a fruitarian diet. She started this fruitarian diet because she was anorexic. Sure, fruitarian diet doesn't provide everything, but anorexia, they hurt themselves with any diet whatsoever. So these people try to look for these extreme diets to heal themselves and not because, they want to kill themselves. So we must start from the beginning instead of just accusing a fruitarian diet that she did in a wrong manner. But any kind of diet, any kind of lifestyle, even water, you can overdo it, right? Even sunshine, you can overdo it. So the problem is not the diet itself, it's the radicalism that she tried to apply. So she was already from 19 to 27 living on fruit only, right? The hotel staff was already saying that she was like really thin. And some nights she was so weak that the hotel staff had to carry her to her room, and they always deliver fruits for her because that's what she asked. And for sure, the hotel staff didn't thought it was something too extreme because a lot of fruitarians, a lot of raw fooders go to Bali. So they are pretty more used to that idea of healthy. And she was already showing a lot of symptoms like edema, like the swelling of parts because as a swelling of her body, osteoporosis. But what is the issue here? The media suggests that she died because following a fruitarian diet, but the media doesn't comment or doesn't speak about it. Actually, there's millions of people around the planet suffering from dietary excesses, like eating too much processed food, too much animal food, eating too much cooked food and unhealthy food, and dying of obesity, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, that are all correlated to excess calories, low micronutrient intake, and to excess fats that clogs our arteries and promotes cancer, excess protein that promotes cancer. There's a lot of biological mechanisms about IGF-1, mTOR, sirtuins, MPK, foxol that we're not going to read over here because it's the longevity genes and the mitogenesis growth genes. Growth pathways. What you have to understand is that the modern diet kills a lot more than somebody trying a fruitarian diet. Because even though living on only fruit is for sure deficient, eating too much of these unhealthy foods is also malnutrition. Because malnutrition is not just a lack of protein, for example, but an excess of protein as well. So people in the modern world living obese and with cancer, heart disease, they're also malnourished, but malnourished in terms of micronutrients and fiber, and overnourished in terms of calories. That means that is empty calories as people consume, like sugar, French fries, and things like that, they have too little micronutrients, but too a lot of calories. That's why they become obese, fat, and sick. They're eating a lot of food, but not good food. So you have to understand that the media is too much. The media causes all these buzz and, you know, like, oh my God, she died. But there's details, there's minor details that the media doesn't comment. So it's not just a fruitarian diet that can kill you, but we see a lot of people dying every day because of the excesses that they commit with diet nowadays. The modern industrialized diet. So what do you think about the case of Carolina? Please comment below. So if you like the video and you like our work, please don't forget to share the video, comment below, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notification. And also, if you want my help as a clinical nutritionist, I can help you through consultation, online and in private sessions. My 4 published books, you can access them through the links below. And also, come for a retreat in Brazil here with us. And there's the online courses that will still be translated to English. And if you also want to help our work, you can become a member of the channel for a small donation every month. Click these videos to know more. And remember, health is produced by Healthful Living. Much frugal health. See you next time.